Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss gout. What is basically gout? Gout is a common inflammatory arthritis which is most commonly found in men and older women. What is this basically gout? It is caused by the deposition of monosodium urate monohydrate crystals in and around the synovial joint. How these crystals are accumulated in the joint? Before that, we have to know how these crystals are basically forming in our joints and how they reach our joints and what is the characteristic behind their formation. So what is going to happen in the formation of crystals? Basically, a variety of crystals can deposit in and around our joints that cause an acute inflammatory arthritis, the most important of which is referred to as chronic arthritis. There may be production of crystal formation. How the mechanism of crystal formation is regulated, as you are looking in this picture, that there is first the solute present in our body. That solute, excess solute, consists of calcium ions, consists of phosphate, maybe sodium, or maybe urate. So basically, in case of gout, we are concerned with urate. So whenever there is an increase in the concentration of urate in our body, what happens? Several kinds of nucleating factors, several kinds of growth promoting factors, they normally produce crystals in the articular cartilage of the bone, articular cartilage of a joint or a bone. What does it happen? The crystals start to deposit in that articular cartilage, as being represented in this picture. When these cartilage start depositing in the articular cartilage, there may be two processes which are going to take place. Either this crystal formation results in inflammation, or they just dissolute, they just dissolve out, and the normal process of the joint carries on. If they start to accumulate in the joint, what happens? There would be rupture, there would be any kind of inflammation, there would be trauma that will lead to the shedding of these crystals in the joint cavity. Crystals are depositing in our joints. How does they just accumulate in our body? Crystal formation basically depends on the balance of tissue factors that promote and inhibit crystal nucleation and growth. Whenever there is an increase in the production of crystals, we ever even say that there are the factors that are promoting the crystal formation, and the factors that are inhibiting crystal formation are decreased. So when there is increase in the production of the factors that lead to the formation of crystals, there is an increased production of crystals. Crystals are produced endogenously or exogenously. We have studied before the mechanism of crystal formation. So the inflammatory potential of the crystal reside in their physical irregularity and high negative surface charge, which can induce inflammation and then damage the cell membrane. What is happening in this gout pathophysiology? Basically, the body uric acid pool is increasing. That is, there is increase in the concentration of uric acid in the body. Hyperuricemia is taking place. How this hyperuricemia takes place? There are two kinds of factors that lead to hyperuricemia formation or increase uric acid level in the blood. What are these two factors? There may be endogenous production of uric acid, either it is increased, or exogenous intake of the uric acid or urate is increased. Or we can even say that the factors that the system of our body that is eliminating the uric acid from our body is not working properly, which is leading to increased uric acid level in the blood. Discussing how much quantity of exogenous urate we are getting in through diet. It is basically 1/3 part of the urate we are taking in through diet, or the purine metabolism in our body, which is taking place regularly, is producing 2/3 of the urate in our body. I have told you before, there is a balance between endogenous uric acid synthesis and its elimination. Its elimination is taking place mainly 2/3 by the kidney or 1/3 by the gut. When this balance is disturbed, either uric acid synthesis are increased or uric acid excretion is decreased. What happens? Uric acid start to accumulate in the blood, because whenever there is excess quantity of anything, it is dangerous. Like excess of everything is bad. So when there is excess of uric acid in the blood, that will lead to the gout, that will lead to the increased crystal formation in the joints, which are dangerous to our joints, which lead to the inflammatory mechanisms in the joint. Uric acid metabolism. How uric acid is taken in our body? There are two sources, as I have told you. That is an endogenous source or an exogenous source. Exogenous source is through diet. Which kind of diet is involved in uric acid accumulation in our body? Gams, seafood mainly, oily fish or offal are the most important food components that consist of high concentration of urate. These are the dietary purines we are taking in. What are the endogenous factors for uric acid production? Endogenous purine metabolism is taking place regularly. What happens in endogenous purine metabolism taking place regularly? Purine is broken down daily on regular basis via a salvage pathway with the use of regulated network of enzymes which cause its degradation. That means purine degradation into hypoxanthine, which is acted upon by an enzyme which converts hypoxanthine to xanthine, and then xanthine is converted into uric acid. As indicated in this picture, hypoxanthine is converted in the presence of an enzyme xanthine oxidase into xanthine, and then xanthine in the presence of enzyme xanthine oxidase is converted into uric acid, which is then excreted out from the body. So if there is inhibition of so if there is disturbance in this mechanism, either we are taking in increased quantity of uric acid. Now we are discussing the risk factors which are leading to hyperuricemia or gout formation. We have three factors. Number one, that there is diminished renal excretion. Renal excretion of uric acid in our body is decreased, or production of uric acid in our body is increased. And the third one is intake of uric acid in our body is increased. So when these three factors like renal excretion of uric acid is decreased, or production of uric acid is increased, or intake of uric acid through diet is increased, these all cases will lead to hyperuricemia. What are the basically causes of diminished renal excretion, increased production, or increased take are here in a table. This is a table which is representing the causes of hyperuricemia and gout. As I have told you that there is diminished renal excretion of uric acid, or increased intake of uric acid, or increased production in our body. Increased intake is via seafood, via offal or red meat. Diminished renal excretion is that there is any kind of renal damage which is not leading to the proper excretion of uric acid through the body. The renal excretory disorders include increased renal tubular reabsorption, or there is any kind of renal failure, alcohol intoxication, lactic acidosis also play an important role, lead toxicity also plays an important role, or if a patient is using thiazide and loop diuretics, they also play an important role in uric acid accumulation in the body. The third part in this table is showing increased production of uric acid in the body. Increased production of uric acid will take place in myeloproliferative disorders, in high fructose intake, in case of inherited disorders like Lesch-Nyhan syndrome, or phosphoribosyl pyrophosphate synthase 1 mutation. So up till now we have discussed the pathophysiology of gout. I think you have understood it well. There are three main causes behind its pathophysiology, which I have told you before. The balance between endogenous uric acid synthesis and elimination is disturbed. Either there is an increased intake of the uric acid in the diet, there is reduced elimination of uric acid from the body, or there is an increased uric acid production in the body. The major cause behind uric acid synthesis is its reduced excretion by the kidneys, which is genetically determined. So here we have done with pathophysiology. Thank you.